Welcome to Colorful Journeys of Success. Listen to and watch our fascinating guests as they share colorful stories of success and how they help inspire. Now, here's Claire, the color wheeling lady and our host.
Welcome to Colorful Journey of Success. Thanks for joining us because we've got a great show tonight. Dr. Lorrane is a delightful person as she's very smart. And wait till you hear all the wonderful things she has to say. So it's my pleasure to welcome Dr. Lorrane. Thanks so much for coming. I specifically didn't give your profession because you have so many. So I want you to kind of introduce yourself and all your titles and professions to the audience.
Sure, Claire, thank you. I am a leadership development coach, and I have a various background that has led me up to this pathway.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's see, who was your mentor? Who motivated you to be there, to take that?
That's a great question, Claire, because I have had many mentors along the way, and I will say that some of my greatest mentors were teachers, which is probably why I went down a pathway of lifelong learning and loving learning. But
and how many degrees did you say you had?
I love learning, and I have 6 college degrees, and feel like I can never learn enough. You know, there are always new challenges that are coming in life, and I think that we always have to keep finding out how to improve.
Interesting, really interesting. I don't think I've ever known anyone with so many degrees, but you know, you're absolutely right. Learning is fascinating, absolutely fascinating. So what is your area of expertise?
My area of expertise is, in the business world, it was continuous improvement. So some people who work in that area might have heard of ISO 9001, but basically it's a system that helps businesses improve. And so what I've done over the years is I've shifted to...
Well, wait a minute, let me stop you for a second.
Sure.
A lot of people may be watching this show, maybe they don't know what ISO is. Explain that.
Sure. It's an international standards organization, and basically it sets standards for businesses so that they reach a certain level of excellence. And a lot of it is based on a continuous loop of feedback and improvement. If you've ever noticed when you make a phone call to some companies, in some cases you feel like you're treated very special. In other companies you feel like you're not. And the companies that are continuously improving their customer service and their product, those are the customers that probably have some standards in the background that are making them get better and better.
Excellent. I think that's fantastic. Well, I did watch your website, by the way. I watched the video on your website. Okay. And you gave a wonderful presentation about blogging.
Okay.
And I love the story about Phil and what... Anyway, the 2 names, I can't remember the 2 names, but anyway, wonderful stories, and I like your presentation skills. They're really excellent.
Thank you. Thank you. I enjoy interviewing people. You know, the purpose of my blog is not about me, but it's about finding other experts like yourself and learning from them. You know, we all have something we can learn from each other.
So, because I brought that up, blogging, describe what blogging is and maybe a couple of special tips for people.
Sure. Well, blogging is a way to send out messages very quickly. And the tagline on my blog is tips to improve your life. So back to that improvement loop. So the majority of my posts are tips from experts to how can somebody improve some area of their life. And you know, the key thing here too, Claire, is that a lot of times people say, oh, if you need an answer, just Google it. But we all know that there's a lot of information out on Google that may or may not help us. So what I try to do is help people get to good information from true experts.
Right.
Who really have the expertise to do what, to help other people in a particular area.
So do you have a particular style of coaching?
Yes, it's definitely one-on-one. You know, the key thing, Claire, is a lot of people, adults, lose their dreams. You know, if you think back to a child and you ask a child, what do you want to be when you grow up? And even high school kids, you know, even in high school, kids are in some cases either losing their dream or getting excited about going to college. Or some people, they get to college and now they're excited about marriage. But over the years, in many cases, people lose their dream. And so I work one-on-one with people to help them get back to their dream.
Oh, that's wonderful. Fantastic. That's fantastic. And so are there particular techniques that you use to do that?
Yes. Actually, we start right with, just like we're doing here, an interview. You know, what is most important to you? You know, what could you do now that makes you excited to wake up in the morning? You know, it's easy for people to get on that treadmill, and so what I want to know is to kind of reignite that fire in a person and help them find a plan so that they can get from where they are, point A, to whatever their point B is.
Okay. Now, do you provide a plan for them, or do they have to find their own plan?
That's a great question. You know, the plan is already in our heart.
Okay.
And so it's really uncovering, and it's really allowing the other person to be very conscious about their thoughts. You know, there's three things that that are really important to what affects what we do every day. It's what we read, what we listen to, and who we associate with. So if we look at what people read, what they listen to, and who they associate with, those are very powerful. If you think about how much the media controls our minds. You know, if we plug into social media and TV all day, we're going to become like the things we watch. And
I believe that. Yes, I believe that's very true.
So what I do is I try to help people make very conscious decisions about what they read, what they listen to, and who they associate with, so that they're around in a supportive environment to get them where they want to go.
They're influenced.
Yes.
They're influenced.
And
yes,
and encouraged, and
or discouraged. If you're listening to the wrong people, you're discouraged sometimes.
Absolutely. And sometimes it's our closest relatives or friends that they don't mean it, but they just don't think that we could do it, so they want to tell us, don't even try.
Okay.
And yet we need the cheerleaders that will tell us, you can do it.
Yes, that's true. I honestly believe that's true. But I'd like to get over to the freelance writing, because when I first met you, we were talking about freelance writing. Can you talk a little bit about that, please?
Sure. Over the years, I've done a lot of freelance writing and published articles on a number of topics. I do believe in the power of writing, and you know, the advantage is if we write something down once, it can last forever. I mean, you think about, even today, we can tap into the knowledge and wisdom of people who lived many years ago. And so the power of the written word, I think, is a great educational tool.
And what do you think about how we write an email versus a letter versus this is something that's become so incredibly amazing to me, is we don't write letters anymore. We drop a whole bunch of words out because we have to shorten it, or we text it. Very different.
Yeah. Well, there are times for everything, right? If we are texting and we want to get a quick message across, you know, letter R, letter U, these kind of things do help us to do things more efficiently. And, you know, speaking of mentors, there's somebody that I follow a lot. His name is Chris Brady, and he has a phrase that I love, and that is, doesn't matter, doesn't matter, doesn't matter, doesn't matter. You know, we have to really kind of stand up and think about what's really important in life. And so in any time we're writing, whether it's an email or a text, we have to take into consideration who we are and who the receiver is, and what is the quickest and best way to communicate. If we're sending long written letters to a teenager, we may not be communicating in their language.
Good point. Good point. And so, going back to writing, now what you mentioned, did you mention that you had many mentors growing up or developing? And if you have 6 degrees, then you have, say, a mentor or 2 in each area, right?
Absolutely.
Do you remember a significant success story that happened to you that was so powerful? And then who is a person or the type of person that you actually help?
Okay, 2 questions. Well, in the first question, it's interesting because this just came to mind. I haven't thought about him for a very long time, but I had a mentor named Vic DeGenti. And when I was finishing up my bachelor's degree, I had just I don't know, another semester to do or so, and I went over to France as an exchange student, and I loved it. And I didn't want to come back. And I said, I just want to stay here because I could stay there and teach English. But Dr. DeGenti told me, no, Lorraine, go back to the U.S., finish that one more semester, come back, work on your master's, and then go back to France, and you'll make more money. And in the long run, this is the better decision for you. At the time, I couldn't see that. All I wanted was what was in the moment, and that was to stay there, eating those yummy baguettes and speaking French and walking the streets of Paris and all of that. But he taught me that we have to think a little further down the road about the decisions we make today. And
so he really had he gave you a powerful message, didn't he?
Yes.
He taught you.
And because I respected him, I took his advice. Yeah.
So who are the types of people that you help?
You know, the interesting thing, Claire, is it's anybody who feels stuck. You know, a lot of people, coming back to the dream thing, you know, I think a lot of people, we get onto a lot of left turns and right turns in life, and at some point people need to get unstuck. So anybody who feels like they've been trying for a long time. So you don't have an individual specific person, but just anyone that is stuck, right? Actually, I'm looking for people that really have a big goal and a dream, and they feel stuck.
How about a word of wisdom? Do you have one or two words of wisdom that you'd like to give to the audience?
Yes. Reflect on your dreams and ask yourself, are you doing something every day to get there? And if not, get a mentor and somebody encouraging.
Now, can you shrink that down into one word or two words?
Live your dream.
Good. So I appreciate your word of wisdom, and thank you so much for joining us. You have a lot of words of wisdom, and so I will, the next segment, be talking to you more about success, about a program that I've designed, and I certainly hope you come back on the show sometime.
Thank you, Claire. I'm excited to learn more.
Good. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for joining us, Colorful Journey of Success. If you have an idea, I'd love to hear your idea and love to talk to you so I can interview you. Remember, Colorful Journey of Success. Where are you going on your journey? Thank you for joining. Dr. Lorrane. Thank you to the audience. Thank you to the crew. It's wonderful.